So, Priyansh, you can start.
Okay, so I'll start now. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Priyanshu Sinha, Associate Manager at Udgam, and on behalf of ECL IIT Guwahati, I am delighted to welcome you all to the final round of Antah Prerna 2022, brought to you in collaboration with Acumen, the Quiz Club of IIT Guwahati, and in association with Sponsor. Antah Prerna, with literal meaning entrepreneur in Sanskrit, was started back in 2021 as weekly quiz on Instagram as a way to make people more aware about entrepreneurship and has now transformed into the ultimate business quiz. Quizzing has always been a part of our lives, whether it is watching KBC with our families every night or participating in quizzes ourselves. Quizzing has always been a safe space for having fun, learning, and testing our knowledge. Online quizzing, growing even before the pandemic, has seen a major rise ever since the pandemic got underway. Various quizzing platforms have emerged during the pandemic and have thrived, giving us a new way to digitally interact with each other and engage ourselves. With that, I would also like to add to our audience to know that we would be handing out prizes for you guys today, so don't forget to participate actively in the comment section. With that said, it is now time to introduce you all to our quiz masters for today. He is a co-founder of Excelsior Knowledge Services, Mr. Padmanabham Pillai, affectionately known as Paddy Sir by everyone. He is responsible for laying the seeds of modern day quizzing as we know it today. An entrepreneur by occupation, Paddy Sir is also one of the co-founders of Nagpur Quiz Club. Our other quiz master for today is Mr. Aniruddha Morarka. Anirudh sir is also the co-founder of Excelsior Knowledge Services. He's a chartered accountant by profession and has been quizzing for more than 11 years and currently is a senior member of Nagpur Quiz Club. Now, I would like to ask our quiz masters to take over. Thank you.
Did actually. Uh, Paddy, sir, you are muted.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. One thing I'd like to add, uh, as said by Pratyush Priyanshu, I'm not one of the people to lay the foundation of modern day quizzing. It's in a small city of Nagpur. Nagpur is a small city with just a handful of quizzes. But yeah, Nagpur Quiz Club is pretty active. We have been conducting quizzes since 12 years. And we have a startup now, Anirudh and I. We call it Excelsior Quizzing. More on that later. And we wish to finish the quiz by 5 p.m. So without wasting any of your time, we'll begin straight away. All participants are here, right? Okay, so there will be 36 questions overall, spread in all over 5 rounds. Individual rules of the rounds shall be explained as and when the round approaches. And Quizmaster's decision is the final one. All of you are distinguished quizzers, but please, Quizmaster को थोड़ा इज्जत दीजिएगा इस बार. And yeah, may the force be with you. The first round is a written round. 5 questions overall. I'm sorry, there are I think 7 questions overall. Plus 20 for every correct answer. A bonus of plus 20 for all correct. The round will have questions about defunct logos of companies. Basically, you have to identify the logo. Please give out your answers at the end of the round in the chat box called Anirudh Morarka. Okay, please don't write your answers anywhere and write them once the round is complete. Okay, am I clear? Any doubts here? Okay, we'll move ahead. This is your question number 1. You have to identify this defunct logo. That is your question number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4.
Hey, Paddy, can you go a little slow because?
Yeah, I will repeat it once again. Anyway.
Fine.
Number 5. Number 6. And number 7. Okay, I'll go once again. Meanwhile, you can send out the answers to Anirudh Morarka. This is your number 7, number 6, number 5, number 4, number 3, number 2, and number 1.
Hey, can you go to 7 as well?
Could you please slow down a bit? This is very fast. Could you just slow down a bit?
Okay, sure. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7. You need one more round here, or you're clear?
One quick one just to make sure the numbers are right.
This is your number 1, the black and white logo. Number 2, red and white here. Number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7. Okay, so please give out your answers serial number wise on the chat box titled Anirudh Morarka immediately. And once everybody is done, please let me know and I'll show you the answers.
Can you please go back the first three ones?
First three, okay, fine.
No, don't give
Hey,
men.
don't go by,
so
don't go,
much time.
Paddy,
No,
don't
it's
give
done.
so much time. Yeah.
Okay, but is everybody done? Has everybody
Yeah.
submitted?
Done.
Yeah.
Okay, any team hasn't submitted so far?
No,
Because once
Paddy,
I move on to the answers, I won't be considering
Paddy,
the
the
answers
thing is,
again.
you give more time, people will Google and do all these things. So just once.
I understand, sir. I understand, sir. But has everybody submitted? Because in case you have not, I won't be accepting your answers once I show the answers. Okay, I'm assuming that everybody has submitted the answers.
Please confirm.
I have received answers from team A, C, E, and F, and right now from D and B also. So just give me a minute to collate the answers, but we won't be accepting any other answers now.
Okay. Let's have a look at the answers. Which is it? You can give out the answer, just like you did in the LL. On the mic. Anybody would like to try?
Canon. Old logo.
Is correct. Old logo of Canon. Pretty simple one here.
India Post.
India Post.
Mozilla.
Firefox. Mozilla will fetch you.
Yeah. Airport Authority of India.
Airport Authorities of India. Right, is correct.
The next is Nintendo.
Nintendo. Right, is correct.
Burger King.
Burger King is also correct. Which
HUL.
team are you from? A no-brainer. Okay.
Team 1.
Team 1.
HUL.
Sun Unilever.
All right, come on.
Okay.
I'll just speak out the scores.
Yeah.
So team A got all correct, so they get a bonus of plus 20, so they get 160 in total. Team B got 5 correct, so they get 100. Team C also got 5 correct, so they get 100. Team D got 4 correct, so they get plus 80. Team E got 2 correct, so they get 40. And team F got 3 correct, so they get 60. So team A 160, team B 100, team C 100, team D 80, team E 40, and team F 60. Am I clear? Is anybody having any doubts?
Can you repeat the score once?
Sure. Team A 160, team B 100, team C 100, team D 80, team E 40, and team F 60.
Anirudh, if it will be better if you can put that in chat also.
Sure, I'll put that in chat as well.
Yeah.
Okay, meanwhile, we can move ahead with the question for audience. The audience participants are requested to write the answers on the chat box provided to you on YouTube. Gattu, the mascot formerly associated with Asian Paints, was created by X in 1954 and got its name thanks to a contest where two winners shared the prize money of rupees 500 for suggesting the name. After the introduction of Gattu, Asian Paints saw its business increase by more than 10 times, and the image became inseparable with Asian Paints' identity, who continued to use this mascot till 2002. You have to identify the artist who made this mascot. Okay, the first person to write the answer on YouTube comment section will get the prize, I'm told. There are 3 more audience questions that will. Meanwhile, the participants can give a guess on the mic.
R.K. Lakshman.
R.K. Lakshman is correct. Pretty obvious one here. Okay, moving on to the first round. This round will have 12 questions. Normal pounds and bounds rule apply. I'm sure all of you understand what pounds and bounds are, so I'll not waste any time explaining them what it is exactly. Plus 20 for every correct answer, irrespective of a direct or a pass. Plus 20 minus 20 for pounds. For pounds, please write pounds in the chat box title everyone, and then give out your answers on the chat box title Paddy. Am I clear? Shall we move on? Okay. First is
one doubt, just one doubt.
Yeah, please.
So any member of the team can type it, or just one member has to type?
Any member can type it, but make sure only one member types it throughout the round. Because in case we get two contradictory bounces, it will be in a difficult situation. So to avoid that, if only one member bounces, it will be easy for us.
Okay.
Okay, shall we move on? It's a direct for team 1, that is team A. Please don't give out the answers immediately. Please wait for the others to pounce. Team 1, you don't have to pounce, it's your direct. Okay, Pierce Soap released a print ad in 1899 which claimed that teaching cleanliness played a major role in civilizing the non-whites. Although Pierce has a history of such racist acts, this particular ad was an appreciation of the poem White Man's Burden, written the same year. Originally written in support of the American occupation of the Philippines, this poem gives the message that it's the moral obligation of the whites to civilize all other races and thereby also justifies colonialism. Although it was a popular poem in its time, the poem is highly criticized today for its racist and colonialist view, though the poet continues to be popular even today. Identify this Nobel Prize winning literary figure who wrote the poem. Open for pounds, and I think all the teams have pounds. 1 second, please give me a second. It's a direct for team A. Team B has pounced. Team C has pounced. Okay, team D hasn't pounced, right? Okay, only team D hasn't pounced, and all the other teams have pounced. Okay, so pounce is
If pounce is done, can we give the answer, team A? Ready?
pounce is done. You can give out the answer on the mic.
Okay, so this is Rudyard Kipling, Whitesman Burden.
Hello?
Yeah, the answer is Rudyard Kipling.
Rudyard Kipling is correct. Rudyard Kipling wrote this extremely racist poem called White Man's Burden, and that was used by Pierce. So except for one team, that is team D, every team gets a plus 20. Okay, team D was the only. Actually, it's pretty difficult managing so many messages simultaneously. That's why it's taking a bit longer. But yeah, except for team D, every team gets a plus 20. Next is a direct for team B. Team B, here is your direct. In 1978, the Central Excise Department found that two products manufactured by the company X were eligible for excise duty and were not exempted from the same as claimed by X. When X refused to abide, the matter went to court. The excise department claimed that the two products were incorrectly classified and wanted to impose a tax liability worth crores to X. But the verdict of the civil court went in favor of X. The decision was upheld in favor of X by High Court as well as the Supreme Court several times since then. It is also believed that X's most iconic tagline or jingle was created to boost its case against the Central Excise Department. Identify the company X and what was the tagline created by them. If you know the company, you will know the tagline. Open for pounds. Okay, no team has pounds so far. Anybody would like to pounce? I'll shorten the question for you. Central Excise Department filed a case against this company, stating that they did not pay excise duty for two of their main products, and the company claimed that they did not belong to that category which has to pay this particular tax, excise duty. And the matter went to court, and the company won the case. And there is a rumor. In fact, it's popularly known that this popular jingle by this company was made to boost its case against the department. What is the tagline, or what is the company? Okay, so two teams have pounced. Team A has pounced, and Team F has pounced. It's a direct for Team B, and pounce is now officially closed. Team B, what is your answer? Team B.
We are saying so company would be Marico.
And the tagline?
There was a tagline, हर बूंद में ज़्यादा.
Okay, passing on to Team C. Team C, would you like to try?
Yeah. Let me just. This is. Okay, I'll pass. Sorry.
Okay, Team D.
We would like to pass.
Team D will also pass, and Team E.
Pass for Team E as well.
Okay, so Team A and Team F have pounced correctly. The answer is, I'll show you. The answer is Vico. Vico came up with this tagline: Vico turmeric nahi cosmetic, because cosmetic products were expected to pay a tax, a central excise tax, and herbal products, Ayurvedic medicines, they were exempted from excise duty. So that's what the case was all about. And Vico ended up winning the case. And this marketing technique is still pretty popular, not just in the field of ads, but also in court cases. So Team A and Team F get a plus 20 each for answering correctly. Excellent answer by both the teams. And since no teams answered it on a direct, it's once again a direct for Team B. Team B, here's your direct. X is a successful multinational company started in 1906 at New York and named after its founder. Although X basically deals with hygiene-related products, in 1982, it decided to expand their range and ventured into frozen food market. The very concept was unacceptable to people, and it bombed, creating losses for the company, which was forced to withdraw itself from the frozen food domain. Today, X's brand of kitchen entrees is a lesson in marketing in what not to do. However, X continues to be a leading name in its original set of hygiene products. You have to identify X, open for pounds. Team C has pounced. Team A has pounced. Yeah, Team A and C have pounced. Team F has also pounced. And Team B has also pounced. Okay. So only Team E hasn't pounced so far. Am I right? Okay, pounce is now closed. Direct for Team B. Team B, what is your answer?
We'll say Colgate.
Colgate. And what made you say that?
This is William Colgate, and
Okay.
Colgate ventured into this.
Okay, is correct. Exactly. The answer is Colgate. It's just like Harpic starting a brand of hamburgers. Will we be comfortable to eat it? That's what the people thought, and that resulted in a huge failure for Colgate. So the teams that get it right are Team A, Team B, Team C, Team F, and Team D. Basically, except for Team E, every other team gets a plus 20. Except for Team E, every team gets a plus 20. Since Team B answered on a direct, next is a direct for Team C. In 1947, An ad of an Italian company in a local trade newspaper caught businessman N.K. Firodia's attention, who later went on to design the modern day X in an agreement with Bachraj Trading Corporation. Firodia was motivated to provide humane conditions to the common man at a very low cost, which the image featured in the newspaper could rightfully serve. When Morarji Desai ordered the mechanical versions of X to be discontinued, he set to work on the new concept. The modified version of X was an automated type of dash, which initially did not find any takers when it was first introduced in 1948 in the markets of Bombay. Pune, however, was more than welcoming, and that is how the initial 10 models came to be sold, and X went on to become an inseparable part of India. What are we talking about? So team A has pounced. Any other team wishes to pounce? Team A, Team D, Team E, and B. A, B, D, and E have pounced. It's a direct for Team C, and Team F hasn't pounced so far. Okay, pounce is now closed except for Team F. Every other team has pounced. Team C, what is your answer?
Yeah, I'll say this is the auto rickshaw.
Auto rickshaw. Auto rickshaw is correct. Yeah, so NK Firodia saw this ad and got inspired by the product, and in collaboration with NK, with Bachraj Trading Corporation, they came up with the first auto rickshaw. So teams that get points are A, B, C, D, and E. Except for Team F, every team gets points. And now it's a direct for Team D. Pretty obvious here. There are two R's in Xerox. This is a very famous ad campaign released by Xerox in 1991. For what purpose did they release such an ad, or what was the second R mentioned by the company? Open for pounds. Team B has pounced and Team C has pounced. There are two R's in Xerox. Which is the second R? Okay, so pounds is now closed. Direct for Team D. Team D.
Hello.
Yeah, Team D. What is your answer?
We're guessing this is Rohan Jain, the founder of microwave, I think, radio waves.
Okay, but why will he be a part of Xerox? Okay, as a tribute, you mean? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Passing on, Team E.
Pass for Team E.
Team F.
Sorry.
Team F.
Is the answer radio?
Radio. It's a good try, but nowhere close to the answer. Okay, so two teams have got it right. Oh, sorry, it's Team A. Team A now. Team A's chance.
Yeah. So this is R stand for registered trademark.
R stands for register. And why did you not pounce this time?
We got a little time to think and.
Okay. Excellent answer. The other R stands for registered, registering. It's called actually brand verbing. A brand eventually becomes a verb. Bhaiya surf de do, and he gives you any washing powder, and you think it's surf. It's not the case. So Xerox is not a verb; it's a noun. That's what Xerox company wished to highlight, and that was the second R. So three teams get it right: Team A, Team B, and Team C. Team A, B, and C get a plus 20 each. Next is a direct. Question number 6 is for Team B, since A answered on direct. Bathgate and Company was a Calcutta-based chemist best known for its creation, Bathgate Liver Tonic, which came in two sizes. The only claim to fame of this brand was its celebrity brand ambassador, who happened to be the first Indian cricketer to endorse a brand. In its old print ad, the cricketer claimed that this product helped him stay fit. Which cricketer are we talking about? It's a direct for Team B, open for pounds. Team A has pounced and Team F has pounced. Anybody else wishes to pounce? Okay, Team C has also pounced. Okay, pounce is now closed. Direct for Team B. Team B. Can you identify this cricketer? I would have been happy to give more clues, but many teams have already pounced, so it will be unfair against them. Team B.
This is CK Naidu.
This is indeed CK Naidu. Colonel C.K. Naidu was the first Indian cricketer to endorse a brand, and that something happened in 1941, and the trend continues even today. So the teams that get it right are Team A, Team B, Team C, and Team F. I repeat, A, B, C, and F. The next question is question number 7. It's a direct for Team C, since Team B answered on the direct. Pretty long, but pretty easy. In November 2021, Malayali actor Prithviraj Sukumaran announced a web series on the life of Rajan Pillai, a role which Prithviraj himself will be playing. The real life Rajan Pillai's life was also equally dramatic, starting his line of business from food packaging to collaborating with some big giants in the food industry. By 1984, Pillai had taken control over the Asian subsidiaries of Huntley and Palmer, the British food manufacturing company, which had control over the Indian company X. That was originally started by a group of Britishers in Calcutta in 1892. By 1889, Pillai had control of several food companies worth over $400 million and became known by the nickname Dash King. However, legal disputes and allegations of his financial fraud saw Pillai's downfall, and the company X was eventually taken over by a Mumbai-based business tycoon. Which company are we talking about? Open for pounds, and I think most of the teams have pounced. It's a direct for Team C, and okay, so Team A has pounced, Team C has pounced, Team F has pounced, and Team B and Team D. Okay, every team has pounced. Okay, great. It's a direct for Team C, but since you have already pounced, you just have to give me the answer.
Yeah,
Team C.
this is Britannia.
It is indeed Britannia. So Rajan Pillai had established control over Britannia. It was eventually taken away from him, and the entire story will be seen shortly in a web series. I hope it's popular. So every team gets a plus 20. It was direct for Team C. So teams which are having the question as a direct need not pounce. You can give your answer directly. Next is direct for Team D. Question number 8. Pretty interesting here. In the 80s, two detergent brands were fighting an ad war. While Nirma focused on it being pocket friendly, Surf focused on the quality factor. A huge boost for Surf sales was the character Lalita Ji, created by Alec Padamsee, a character who focused on quality and became a household name and made Surf brand popular amongst the middle class. To counter this, Nirma came up with Deepika Ji, who saw other brands as wastage of money. The actor who played the part had initially acted in flop movies like Sun Meri Laila, Kanun Kya Karega, Bhagwan Dada, and others. Yet, why did Nirma choose to go ahead with this actor for the serious ad campaign? It's a direct for Team D. So two teams have pounced correctly, Team B and Team F. Team C has also pounced. B, C, and F have pounced. No other team has. It's a direct for Team D. So except for B, C, and F, no other team has pounced. Okay, so pounce is now closed. Team D, what is your answer?
So this is that actress who was portraying Sita in Ramanand Sagar's Ramayana. So Ramayana was quite popular at that time. I think that's why they went ahead with her.
It will fetch you up 20 points. The actor Deepika Chikliya, who was called Deepika Ji in the ad, also played Rama and Sita, and people were like, Ma Sita is endorsing the brand herself. How can we say no to her? So this is the ad in case you haven't. You can hear the audio, right?
things.
Okay, you can hear the audio. Can you guys hear the audio? What she was speaking?
Oh no.
That's
Paddy,
fine.
go ahead. Okay, we know the ad. Okay, go ahead in the next.
Okay. Okay, so team B, C, D, and F get plus 20 each. B, D, C, and F. I'll stop the PPT for a moment because this audio issue has to be sorted out. There will be more questions. So guys, please hold on.
In the meantime, can we have the scores?
Okay, now please tell me if you can listen to the audio properly.
We can.
Okay. Okay, we'll move on. Question number 9. X is an Indian brand which began in 1975 and still continues to be one of the leading brands of India in its domain. The meaning of X is something that is viewed as a model of excellence. The word owes its origin to an Italian word which is a touchstone, a black stone that is used to tell the quality of gold once the gold is rubbed on the touchstone, and it can be found out how good the gold is. But the brand in question has no relation with gold except for its name, but it still continues to be one of the leading brands in its field. So please tell me which brand are we talking about? Open for pounds. It's a direct for team E. Okay, so team A has pounced. Team B has pounced. Team C has also pounced. It's a direct for team E. Team F hasn't pounced so far. So I am closing the pounds. Okay, team D. Sorry, team E. What is your answer? Team E.
Pass.
Team E is passing. Team F.
Passing for us
Team
as
F.
well. Pass for us as well.
Team F. Okay. Team A has pounced. Team D. Team D, are you trying?
Pass.
Okay. So every team has passed. Let's have a look at the answer. It is Paragon. Paragon, specialist in footwear. So 3 teams get it right. Team A, B, and C. They get a plus 20 each. Since no team answered on direct, it's once again a direct for Team E. Palm Cola is a state-owned beverage brand that began its operation and achieved its peak of popularity in the 80s. The brand used palm sugar in its content and made the claim to be a healthy alternative of other fizzy beverages. Although the brand continues to be active today, its sales are nowhere close to other soft drinks sold in India. However, the brand is best known amongst quizzers and movie enthusiasts for a television ad which they released in 1981, which featured actor X. Till date, Palm Cola remains the only brand ever to be endorsed by X. Which actor are we talking about? It's a direct for Team E. I think every team has found. Team A has pounced, Team C has pounced, Team F has pounced, Team B has pounced, Team D has also pounced. Okay, so every team has pounced properly. It's a direct for Team E. Yeah, Team E, what is your answer?
Rajnikant.
Rajnikant will fetch you plus 20. Every team gets a plus 20. Let's have a look at the audio. All of you could hear the audio properly, right? All of you could hear the audio, right?
Yes, Paddy. Yes.
Yes, we could.
Okay. Great. So Rajnikant featured in this ad. It's still actively sold in Khadi Gramodas. If you visit the Khadi Gramodas, Chennai or some other place in Tamil Nadu, you might be lucky to find Palm Cola there. And this happens to be the only brand endorsed by Rajnikant. So all teams get a plus 20 here. Next is a direct for team F. Since team E directly answered this question. Pretty long here, but interesting subject. X Limited is an Indian public sector company which opened its operations in 1953 and went on to become a household name in India after 1961 when it began manufacturing Wise with Japanese collaboration. By 1971, the company had also started manufacturing tractors with technical help provided by Messrs. Motokov, Czechoslovakia. Although the X tractors were extremely popular in its time, it could never reach the popularity of X's product manufactured under Y divisions. Unfortunately, huge losses forced the government to close both the divisions of X and Y in 2016. X continues to exist as a public sector company, but manufacturing certain goods required by the defense sector. The Ys manufactured by X continue to be sold through their official website. What are we talking about? You have to give me X. X is basically a company and Y is a product manufactured by company. The Y brands were pretty popular in peak time, but they also manufacture other products like tractors. Which company are we talking about? That is the question here, and many teams have bounced. Okay, team A has bounced correctly. Team B, C, and E have also bounced correctly. B, C, D, E. B, C, D, E. Okay, every team has answered correctly, and it's a direct for team F. Team F, what is your answer? Team F, if you can turn on your mic.
Yes, hi. Our answer is HMT, Hindustan Machine Tools.
Hindustan Machine Tools manufacture tractors?
I think through like a Swaraj or like one of those.
Yes, they did. In fact, they manufactured many other things. Even tube lights were manufactured by HMT. And they were pretty popular for their watch brands, which continue to be sold in their official website. Even I'm wearing an HMT Janta Deluxe, which I bought from the official website some time back. Okay, so all the teams get a plus 20 each. And moving on to the final question of this round, it's a direct for team A, since team F answered on the direct. Okay, another long question here. In the 80s and 90s, the salt market was ruled by Tatas, with their product Tata Salt being the only branded salt available. This monopoly was challenged by the arrival of Captain Cook salt in the early 90s. Captain Cook singularly targeted Tata Salt by their ad campaign, most famous of which was a television ad which featured Sushmita Mukherjee with voiceover given by Javed Jaffrey. The ad became extremely popular, resulting in temporary boost of sales for Captain Cook. Tata saw the message clearly and came up with its own ad as a reply to Captain Cook's ad. And this ad featured a fictional character X. Who was this character X, and why was it seen as a masterstroke by the Tatas in their ad war against Captain Cook? You might have seen this ad before. I'll show it to you. This is the Captain Cook ad.
ये है नया एक्स्ट्रा फ्री फ्लो रिफाइंड आयोडाइज्ड कैप्टन कुक नमक। कहां-कहां से ले आते हैं और ये है आपका मनपसंद नमक। तो आइए देखें आपका मनपसंद नमक आपका मनपसंद क्यों है। इसकी क्वालिटी इतनी बढ़िया है कि आपका हाथ साथ न छोड़े। कितना वफादार। और इसकी तो ठीक है। आहा, इतना सूखा और बिल्कुल चिपचिपा नहीं। अब हाथ ही चिपचिपा हो तो और इसकी क्या मजाल के इसके साथ। आगे बढ़ते हैं। अब देखिए ये कितनी खूबसूरती से गिरता है, कितना फ्री फ्लोइंग है। कभी रुक कभी चल। चाल में कोई बात होनी चाहिए। और कैप्टन कुक को देखिए कैसे जर्र से गिरा जा रहा है। हाउ बोरिंग। निकलो तो धड़ से निकलो। हैं?
नया एक्स्ट्रा फ्री फ्लो कैप्टन
Can you
कुक
go back to
नमक
the video?
इसमें है वही जो आपके मनपसंद नमक में नहीं.
So what happened is Captain Cook decided to challenge Tata Salt's monopoly by bringing in Sushmita Mukherjee and Javed Jafri in a particular advertisement, which exactly targeted Tata Salt's packing and specialities. So Tata Salt decided to give its reply by hiring a fictional character to play, to endorse that brand of Tata. Why was that? Who was that character, and why was he selected? That is the question here. And it was seen as the perfect reply given by Tata in the ad war. And slowly, Captain Cook had to eventually wind up their business. And Tata continues to sell salt in India. Which character are we talking about? Open for fiction, open for pounds. No team has pounds so far. It's a direct for Team A. You understood the question, right? Captain Cook came up with an ad, and its response was given by Tata by hiring a fictional character to endorse their products. Who was that fictional character, and why was he selected? That is the question, and pounds is now closed. Team A, can you give me the answer?
1 minute.
Yeah,
Govinda, do you have any answer? Peter Pan.
Peter Pan is not correct. Team B.
I'll have a guess and say Karamchand, because this is the lady which plays Kitty in Karamchand, the original TV series. So maybe.
Okay, Tata management had a similar thinking person in their head, and that's why they chose Karamchand to play the ad, and this is the answer. Yeah.
बेवकूफ लड़की शट अप ये क्या तमाशा है देखो ये है जाना माना टाटा नमक भारत के सबसे बड़े सॉल्ट वर्क से भारत का सबसे आधुनिक सॉल्ट प्लांट वैक्यूम एवेपोरेटेड आयोडाइज्ड जो आपकी सेहत के लिए बहुत जरूरी है You really are a genius. नमक को टाटा का टाटा नमक को टाटा का टाटा
Yeah, basically what happened is Sushmita Mukherjee was best known to Indian people for playing Miss Kitty in the TV series Karamchand. And Karamchand was this extremely intelligent detective, and Kitty didn't know anything. So always I used to say, "Shut up, Kitty," and Kitty used to reply, "You are a genius, sir." So when Sushmita Mukherjee played the protagonist in Captain Cook's ad, Tata came up with the reply by hiring Karamchand, played by Pankaj Kapoor. So excellent answer, probably the best answer of the day by Team B. It will fetch them 20 points for Team B alone. Yeah, and that is the end of this round. Let's have a look at the scores. Till then, we'll have the audience question. The first television ad to feature X was released by Johnson & Johnson in 1989. The ad featured X playing with children and helping out one of the kids who got injured with a band-aid. Since X was a minor, Johnson & Johnson had to approach his family's permission for him to feature in this ad. And X was reportedly paid 16 lakhs. Who are we talking about? Which person are we talking about? It's a question for the audience. The first person to give the correct answer on comment section will be getting a prize. Participants, can you give it a try? I am sure you
Sachin
know.
Tendulkar.
Sachin Tendulkar is correct. And now we'll have a look at the scores.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
So the scores after this dry round is Team A is leading the quiz with 360 points. Team B is at 320. Team C is at 300. Team D is at 200. Team E is at 140. And Team F is at 220.
What is Team F?
Team F is 220. I'll just type in the scores in the chat box as well so that you all can see. Hello everyone. Can you verify? Oh. Team F score is 220. Is there any issue with that?
No, no issue. I just wanted to reconfirm it. And since you put in chat, it's fine now.
Okay, so I'll be doing the next two rounds and we'll be finishing the quiz. Paddy sir, if you can move to the next round. Okay, so this is a written round, but this goes with the theme of a long connect. So there'll be 5 questions with a common connect to all 5. Every correct answer will give you a plus 20 individually. And if you identify the common connect on the first clue itself, you get a plus 100 or a negative 100. And on the second clue, if you do it, you get a plus 80 and minus 80, and it moves on in an inverse proportion. And you have to give me one answer at a time in the chat box titled Anirudh Murarka. This is a written round. You just have to type in the answer. But
So
make sure you
at a time, after each question, you have to give the answer.
Sorry, no, not after each question, after the entire thing is finished. But you can give me the common connect anytime you want.
Okay.
And if you give me on the first clue, you'll get a plus 100, minus 100, plus 80, minus 80, plus
after
60.
first two questions.
Even after the first clue, if you want to give me the correct, clue, common connect, you can. That's up to you. If you think you know the common connect, you can.
No. What the question is how long this first plus 100 and how minus 100 is applicable till question 2 or first question? Only
First question only. First question only.
And plus 80 and minus 80 on the second question.
On the second clue, till the 5, there'll be 5 questions, so it will move on till the fifth clue. Is there any doubt, or should I move ahead?
Go.
Teams. Okay, so let's move on to the first question of this round. Okay, so Jerry and the Pacemakers were a British group that were prominent in the 1960s. In common with the Beatles, they came from Liverpool, were managed by Brian Epstein, and were recorded by the legendary George Martin. Apart from the Beatles, the group also had something common with a company known as X, since they were known as Jerry Martin and the X at that time. Jerry's father, who was managing the band, wrote a letter to the company asking for their permission to use their name. The company, however, refused for the same, and the band had to settle with their current name, which is Jerry and the Pacemakers. So, which company had its name in this band, Jerry Martin and the X, and they refused to give permission to this band to use their name? Moving on to the second one. If anybody wants to give me an overall connect, you can, or else we'll move. Okay, moving on to the second one. Billy is a product sold by the company X and is one of the most successful products, having sold over 60 million units till date. Developed in 1979 by one of X's first employees, the initial design of Billy was done on a napkin. When designing the product, emphasis was given to the functionality and flexibility, recognizing that different customers had different requirements. The creator also wanted to ensure his design was attractive and timeless, so that the design would remain on sale and wouldn't fall out of fashion. The name Billy was chosen after one of the advertising manager of the company who wanted a proper blank to be designed. So identify the company which is behind Billy.
Hey, we have long connect, Anirudh.
Okay, yeah, you can give me the you can give me the long connect in the chat box.
Long connect.
Team C has already attempted the long connect and they've got it correct. And team A has also gotten it correct. So you both get a plus 80. Brilliant answer by team A and C. They've already gotten the written connect. Okay, moving on to the third question. Here Music was a short-lived record label that was founded in 2007 in a partnership between Concord Music Group and the company X. The main objective of Here Music was to develop records to play in X's own retail stores and also to have sale through traditional retailers. The company's first artist signing was Paul McCartney in 2007, and it went on to sign a lot more artists. However, with the financial crisis hitting in 2008, X announced that it was turning over the day-to-day management of Hear Music to Concord Music, and by July 2008, Hear Music was completely shut down. So, which company signed this created this record label with Concord Music Group so that they could play music in their own retail stores? This is the third one. Any other team going for the long connect, you get a plus 60. Okay. Moving on to the fourth one. This is pretty easy, I think. Tony Fadell is an American engineer who is known as the father of X, a device that helped to turn around a certain company's fortunes from a struggling manufacturer to one of the most profitable companies in history, and is personally responsible for over 50% of all the company's revenue today. In 1999, after his idea for X was not well received by his employer, Philips, Fadell started his own company, Fuse. However, he failed to find a second round of funding and started exploring developing the product at other companies. In 2001, Fadell found support for his business idea in that certain company, and the rest, as they say, is history. So, which product or which device am I talking about? You don't have to name the company, you just have to name the device or the product that I'm talking about. This is the fourth question of the round. You guys can attempt the long connect. This is for plus 40 and minus 40, plus 20 for each individual correct answer. Okay, moving on to the fifth one.
Wait, we are attempting the long connect on this one. On the previous question, we are attempting the long connect.
Which team is
this?
Go
to the team B.
You can write the long connect in the chat box. You don't have to speak it on the mic. Okay, so the fifth one is siblings Richard and Maurice opened the first X in 1940 in California and introduced the speedy service system in 1948, putting into expanded use the principles of the modern fast food restaurant that the predecessor White Castle restaurant had put into practice more than 2 decades earlier. The original mascot of X was a chef hat on a top of hamburger who was originally referred to as Speedy as well, before being replaced by the current mascot in 1962, which has continued till date. So which company am I talking about? And team B, I won't be considering your answer since it was after I already started reading out the question. You were given sufficient time. Anybody else going for the long connect? You can. Till then, I'll just submit your answers and I'll just go through them. Team E, I haven't received your individual answers. You've just given me the common connect.
Yeah, I'm just writing the answer. Just a second.
Yeah. And team F, I haven't got your answer.
Attempting the long connect.
No, there's no negative. This is the last one, so there's no negative. However, I'll request you to answer quickly because we have to move to the next round as well. Teams E and F, I haven't received your. Team E, I've just received your answers, and Team F, I haven't.
F has also submitted their answers, and we just submitted the long connect.
I haven't.
Right, answers we submitted longer.
No, but you've given it to, I think, Paddy sir's chat box. You haven't given it to my chat, so I can't see it. Yeah. Okay, so I'll not be accepting any more long connect answers. We'll just move on to the answers. And after that, I'll tell the scores also. So let's move on to the answers. Paddy, next slide. So Jerry and the Pacemakers, which company had its name in the original? Anybody wants to answer? You can answer on the mic.
Mars bars. Mars.
Mars.
It's Mars. So it was Jerry Martin and the Mars bars. Great answer. Second one.
IKEA.
This is IKEA. So Billy bookcase, the most famous bookcase. Next one. Hear music.
Starbucks.
This is Starbucks. So to play music in their own retail stores. This is Starbucks. Fourth one, Tony Fadell, father of
iPod.
This is iPod. Fifth one. This is the easiest of the lot.
McDonald's.
This is McDonald's. And so teams A and C gave the correct long connect in the second question as well. This is a great answer. So anybody else wants to attempt the long connect? Next slide, Parisa.
Will there be negative if I answer?
No, this is not for any points as well.
Okay.
No points. Okay. This is just for. So I'll just show the answer. The answer is economic indexes. So all these products and companies have economic indexes named after them. So there's the Mars index, there's the IKEA or the Billy Bookcase index. Starbucks has the Starbucks or the Tall Latte index. iPod has the iPod index, and McDonald's has the McDonald's or the Big Mac index. So basically, to sort of judge the inflation in countries in different points of time, these 5 indicators are used. And there are problems with anyone, but these 5 are the most famous, named after companies or products. So can I have a round of applause for team A and C for answering in the second question? Great answers by team A and C. And I'll tell the scores now. So team A get all 5 individually correct, and they answered on the second one, so they get plus 80. So they get a total of 180 in this round. Team B get all 5 individually correct, and they answered on the last one. So they get a 120, 100 for 5 and 20 for the long connect. Team C also gets.
We had answered on the fourth question.
I'll not consider it because it was after I started already reading the fifth question. So I'll not consider it on the second last one. Team C got a plus 100 on all 5 and plus 80 for the long connect. So 180 in total. Team D couldn't answer the long connect, but they got all 5 individually correct. So they get 100 points. Team E also get 100 and they couldn't answer the long connect. And team F get a plus 80 and they couldn't answer the long connect. So I'll just type in these scores in the chat box for everyone's clarity. Anybody has any doubts in this? Till then, Paddy, I can do the audience question.
Okay, so this is for the audience. Moby Dick is an American classic work of literature believed to be one of the greatest sea-based stories of all time. According to some stories, X Corporation, an American company, was supposed to be named after the ship Pequod, mentioned in the novel. But later the plan was changed and they chose to name the organization after the chief mate of the same ship, that is X. Today, X has over 30,000 stores throughout the world and is one of the biggest in its field. Identify X. It's for the audience. The first person to answer on YouTube chat will get the prize. Okay, participants, please give out the answer. I'm sure you know this.
Starbucks.
Okay, so Paddy said this is the last round and rules remain the same. We'll just move on anti-clockwise. So we'll start with team F. This is the same dry round. You just have to give the answer out in the chat box titled Anirudh Murarka. Okay, don't answer it to Paddy sir. Answer it to Anirudh. All right. Any doubts? Okay. Okay, let's move on to the first question of this round, the last 12 questions. So the X War is the name commonly given out to the Chad-Libya conflict, which took place from 1983 to 87 in the regions of northern Chad. The war takes its name from the company X, whose products were extensively used by the Chadian troops in the decisive victory. The products, 400 in number, were gifted to Chad by the French government because of their mobility and versatility, and also because they were very cost efficient for them. And since most of the war took place in the
Anirudh,
sorry, yeah,
my partner need to got disconnected. Can you wait for 2 minutes?
I'll just read out the question till then. He
Fine,
can
fine.
join.
This question is fine. After this question, you wait for 2 minutes. So,
Yeah, sure.
is it our direct or is it anti-clock? So,
It's a direct for team F. We'll move on anti-clockwise. It's a
okay,
direct for
I'm
team F.
pouncing. So, pouncing would be to Paddy, so?
No, pouncing would be to Anirudh.
Anirudh only?
Yeah. For this round, a pounce to Anirudh.
Okay, now we are pouncing.
Yeah.
Just wait for 2 minutes.
So I have got team B who has pounced, team C who has pounced, team D has pounced, team A has pounced, and team E has pounced. So apart from team F, everybody has pounced. And it's a direct for team F. So team F, if you can speak out the answer.
It is the Great Toyotan War.
Great. Okay. The answer is Toyota.
Or the Toyota War, yeah.
Yeah. So Toyota Land Cruisers were used extensively in this war. And as you can see in the photo, it's very easy for the Chadian troops to move across the desert.
Yeah, no,
So
just wait, man. Just wait. Okay, actually I had a small power cut. Okay, so just hold on a bit.
Yeah. I'll wait for 30 seconds. No issues.
He's already there, so he's just connecting.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, my partner also just means that I don't know why he also dropped off. He will be connecting in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think Rabi is already there.
Rabi, just give me a call now.
Okay. Should I move on to the next question? Is everyone okay? Paddy sir, move on to the next question.
Just one second. We have to pounce to means Anirudh, right?
Anirudh. You have to bounce to Anirudh. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the second question. Okay. So X is a word which is very significant to finance. The word has its origins in the Latin word meaning too close in the 16th century, and it was originally used in English in the same meaning as its Latin source. As an example of which can also be found in Shakespeare's As You Like It, the line which goes, X me in my motley. The financial sense of X can be attributed to the trading of the East India Company when the word developed a notion of clothing money in a new form. So which term, very crucial to finance, am I talking about? Team A has pounced, Team B has pounced, Team C has pounced. Okay. Teams A, B, and C have pounced. Anybody else pouncing? It's a direct for Team E, since Team F answered the last one on bounce. I'm closing pounds in 3, 2, and 1. So Team E, if you can speak out the answer.
Invest.
Invest is the correct answer. So the line actually went invest me in my motley, which currently is one of the most important words of finance. So teams A, B, C, and E. I repeat, teams A, B, C, and E get a plus 20. Moving on to the third question. Sorry. Pretty easy one. Devang Mehta was one of the most famous presidents of NASCOM, a trade association related to the IT industry, who is basically most famously known for his quote, Roti Kapda Makan Bijli or X, an extension of the prominent original which strongly epitomized the aspirations of the 21st century India. So what word did he add? Or rather 2 words did he add? He added Bijli and blank. Okay. Team D has pounced, F has pounced, C has pounced, A has pounced, B has pounced, D and E. Everybody has pounced. Okay. It's a direct for team D. And D actually also pounced. You didn't have to pounce. Okay, since everybody has pounced, team D your answer.
Team bandwidth.
Bandwidth is the correct answer. So he added roti, kapda, makan, bijli or bandwidth. So everybody gets a plus 20 on this. And since team D answered, we'll move on to team C. So direct for team C. X is a game that was created by a San Francisco professor, Ralph Anspach, in response to a massively popular game because he believed that the original game created wrong impressions among the people. X was originally created in 1973 under the name Bust the Trust, but changed to its current name in the same year. Since then, X has been updated and re-released several times due to the various legal issues that it has been facing since then. So which game am I talking about? It's a direct for Team C. Team A, B, E have pounced. A, B, and E have pounced. F has also pounced. E has also pounced. Team D has not pounced. Apart from that, everybody has pounced. I'll close pounce in 3, 2, and 1. Team C, your answer.
This is a variant of Monopoly called anti-monopoly.
Anti-monopoly will fetch you plus 20. So this is anti-monopoly. The original game is obviously Monopoly. So apart from team D, everybody gets a plus 20. Apart from team D, everybody gets a plus 20. And team C answered. So team B, it's your direct. X is the name of a luxury cigar brand started in 1989 by Khezad Hansotia, a person of Indian origin, and is the producer of the most expensive cigar in the world, with a box costing 15,000. In the words of Hansotia, I was young and drunk off my ass at a beach in Goa. There was a guy selling cigars out of a little hut and they were branded X. I was intrigued. 3 bottles of rum later, I had bought all of the shop's wares as gifts for my customers, for the customers of my duty-free business, and then acquired the entire brand for a mere $149. However, Hansotia is unaware that the history of X cigars dates back to the year 1887 when the colonial soldiers had started to make their own cigars from locally sourced tobacco. As a tribute to a particular demographic of the subcontinent population, the British started calling the cigars as X, which later became the standard name of the cigars. So let me just check who all have pounced. Team A has pounced, Team F have pounced, B has pounced, C has pounced, and Team D has pounced. Okay, Team B did not have to pounce, but they've pounced. So A has pounced. C also, let me check. C also has pounced. D has pounced. E also have pounced, and F has also pounced. So everybody has pounced. Team B, your answer. Please speak out on the mic. Team B. Is Team B there in the call or have they disconnected? Can anybody check if Team B is there? Shantanu?
Team B is there, but I guess they're not unmuting themselves. Dipayan.
Okay, since they've already answered correctly on the pounds, I'll give them the points. So let's take a look at the answer. Yeah, but it's a direct, so I wanted you to speak out on the mic. The answer is the Gurkha cigars. So everybody gets a plus 20. This is the Gurkha cigars. And team B answered on the pounds. So team A. Team A is direct. The currency of Panama is named in honor of the Spanish explorer Vasco Nunez de X, which came into circulation in 1904 and has been used along with the US dollar since then. Interestingly, X is also the name of one of the most famous fictional characters ever. The character has been inspired from a certain Roberto Duran from Panama, whereas the name of the character has been inspired from the currency X. So which currency am I talking about? It's actually the currency of Panama, named after a Spanish explorer Vasco Nunes de X. Team C has pounced. Team A has pounced. Team B has pounced. Team E has pounced. Team A did not have to pounce, it's their direct. Okay, so B has pounced, C has pounced, D hasn't pounced, E has pounced, and F has pounced. Okay, so apart from team number D, everybody has pounced, and it's a direct for team A. So team A, if you could speak out the answer.
Yeah, so the currency of Panama is Balboa.
Balboa, that is the correct answer, and the character is of course Rocky Balboa. So apart from team D, everybody gets a plus 20. Apart from team number D. Moving on to the next question, it's a direct for team F since team A answered on the bounce. Okay, so X and the Holocaust is a book by investigative journalist and historian Edwin Black, which documents the services rendered by the American company X through its German and other European subsidiaries for the Nazi government from 1933 right up to the end of the World War II. Okay, I've already received pounces from every team. So I'll not even bother to read the full question. And team F, you can just speak out the answer.
IBM.
IBM is the correct answer. So IBM and the Holocaust. And everybody gets a plus 20 on this. Moving on to the next question, it's a direct for team E. Team E is a direct for team E. So cast by J.W. Singer and Sons to a design by Henry Poole, a set of lion sculptures were commissioned for the new headquarters of X in 1923. The head of X, Alexander Stephen, wrote that the inspiration for his decision for these sculptures came from the imposing lions outside the Venetian arsenal. Post the installation, the lions came to be known as Stephen and Stitt. Stephen was named for Alexander Stephen, the head of X, and Stitt was named after Gordon Stitt, his successor.
Somebody is in the chat.
Hey, team D, what the fuck is this, man? Team D.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Okay, so this question will have to be scrapped since Team D has answered. I'm really sorry. This question has to be scrapped. They've given out the answer. Team D, please be careful. It's the end of the quiz, so this question is scrapped. The answer is, I think everybody knew the answer. It's HSBC. So the HSBC, they're known as the HSBC Lions. However, this question is scrapped. So Paddy, can we move on to the next one? Okay. So X is a company founded in Seattle by partners Mike Apgar and Doug Suttles in 2006. The flagship product of X is currently the global leader in network intelligence and claims around 80% of the total market share. Suttles revealed that they named their company X after his pet cat, who in turn was named for a character on the TV show Thunder the Barbarian. This character is a leonine humanoid who is a primary companion of the protagonist Thunder. Steve Gerber, the creator of the show, states that the name of the character X actually comes from the name of a world famous and top ranked university, though he didn't have any connection to the university per se. Identify the company X whose primary competition is a product by Netflix. Okay, so it's a direct for team E. Okay, so team A has pounced, team B has pounced, team C has pounced, D has pounced, and F has pounced. Okay, so again, every team has pounced except for the one whose direct it is. So team E, please can you speak out the answer?
T-test by Okla.
Yes, so the answer is UCLA. So UCLA was named after University of California, LA, which phonetically sounds UCLA, and the competition is fast.com by Netflix. So everybody gets a plus 20, and since team E answered, team D, it's your direct. The word X has been in use since the 14th century to refer to a bag or knapsack for carrying articles, though the usage of X in its current meaning started only around the mid 19th century. Though the exact origin of X is debatable, one source suggests that the ancient Greek word kibisis, said to describe the sack carried by the god Hermes and the sack in which the mythical hero Perseus carried the severed head of the monster Medusa, is translated as X. So which word am I talking about, which has a connection to finance? This word has come from the ancient Greek word kibisis. Team A has pounced, F have pounced, and E have pounced. And team B has also pounced. Team C has also pounced. So A has pounced, B have pounced, C have pounced, D ka direct hai, they haven't pounced, E and F have pounced. Okay. So team D, if you could speak out the answer. Team D.
Hello.
Team D, sorry. Team D.
We would like to pass.
Is this the last round? Last two questions?
Yeah, these are the last two questions. Team D, I'm sorry, you couldn't quite hear your answer.
Pass.
Pass. Okay, team D has passed. The answer is, can we have a look at the answer? The answer is wallet. So apart from team D, everybody has gotten plus 20. Moving on to the penultimate question. The penultimate question. In 1940, a certain currency was put into circulation that was used in very specific areas, X, by very specific people. The first known use of this currency was in the Lodz area of Poland, and thereafter was used in 20 specific areas for a period of 3 to 4 years only, after which it became defunct. The notes that were used in these currency were designed by the people who used it in the end, though the designs were compulsorily limited by the issuing authority to Moses and the tablets of the law. Although the entity commissioning this currency was the same, but each of the 20 areas had their own version of the currency, with subtle variations in the design and no proper exchange rates with the other currency in circulation. So you have to identify the areas where this short-lived currency was used. Team F have pounced, Team A have pounced, and Team B have pounced.
Whose direct is this? Whose direct is this?
It's a direct for Team D, since nobody answered on the bounce before.
मैंने ghetto से लिखा है.
Anito, I have pounced.
Yes, I have seen your bounce. Team C has pounced. Okay. Team E hasn't pounced yet. Okay, I'm closing pounce in 3, 2, and 1. Apart from team E, every team has pounced. And it's a direct for team D. So team D, if you could give the answer on the mic. Team D.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Could you speak the answer?
Yeah, these are especially the ghettos in Poland and other areas of Europe at this point.
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite get your answer. Could you speak again, please?
I said these are Polish ghettos.
Yeah, so that is the correct answer. So these are basically the Nazi concentration camps of the ghettos. So this is how the currency looked. So apart from team E, every team gets a plus 20, apart from team E. Okay, so this is the last question of the quiz. And let's have a look at the question. The Food Bank for New York is USA's largest anti-hunger charity, which feeds about 1.5 million people per year. It leans heavily on the generosity of giant corporates like Target, Bank of America, and Delta Airlines, amongst others. In 2011, Toyota also offered a charity to the food bank, but instead of money, they offered X. Toyota's initial offer was, however, met with apprehension. They make cars, I run a kitchen, said Daryl Forrest, director of distribution at the food bank. This won't work. Nevertheless, when Toyota insisted, the food bank reluctantly agreed, and within a short period of time, their charity proved to be revolutionary for the bank. However, the food bank was not the first entity where Toyota gave X as a charity. Since the early 1990s, Toyota has given X to more than 40 organizations, half of which were small manufacturers, and the rest are non-profits. So, what is X that Toyota has been giving out for charity? Okay, team B has bounced, F has bounced, A has bounced, and team C has bounced. It's a direct for team C, so you needn't have bounced, but still. Team A, B, D hasn't bounced, E hasn't bounced, and F has bounced. Okay, so I'll give a couple of seconds for team D and E to bounce, but they're not bouncing. So it's a direct for team C. If you could speak out the answer.
Yeah, I'll say this is, they basically gave them a quality management system which will help them to the process, make it more efficient.
That is the correct answer. So essentially, they basically gave Kaizen or continuous improvement or the quality management systems to improve their efficiency. So when other companies were giving out money, they basically put their employees there to give them hands-on experience on how to improve their efficiency and how to feed more people. Perfect answer by Team C. With this, we finish the quiz and we have an audience question. Till then, we'll compute the scores and we'll come out with the final results.
लास्ट क्वेश्चन पे मार्क्स किसको मिले?
Oh, sorry. Last question. Team A, B, C, and F. Teams A, B, C, and F get a plus 20.
Let's say, do we have a final audience round?
Yes, we do have one question for the audience.
Yeah, this is your audience round. Alan David X played many roles in his life, from having a brief stint in the army to selling insurance, from working as a blacksmith's assistant to working as a law consultant. X also contested the elections to become a senator in 1951 but lost by a small margin. Today, X is known for starting a company in 1952 which has its presence in 142 nations and has over 40,000 franchisees. The image of X is probably one of the most easily identifiable ones in the world. Identify X. It's for the audience. Please ensure that you have written your answers on the YouTube comments and the participants can give out your answers on the mic. It is indeed Colonel Sanders. So passing on to Anirudh.
Okay, so we have the final results with us. So there's on joint fifth place, we have teams D and E with 420 points. In fourth place, we have team F on 500 points. In third place, we have team B with 660 points. In second place, we have team C on 700 points. And deserved winners of this quiz, team A with a score of 760 are the winners of this quiz. So if you could have a virtual round of applause for the winners, team A. And second place goes to team C with 700 points.
Can you please repeat the scores once?
Yeah, I'll repeat the score. I'll put it in the chat box as well. Team A is on 760. Team B is on 660. Team C is on 700. Team D is on 420. Team E is on 420. and team F is on 500. I've put the scores in the chat box as well. With this, we come to an end of this quiz. I hope you all liked the questions. And I'd just like to extend a thank you to IIT Guwahati for organizing the quiz, for the managing team to give us this quiz to host, and to all the participants who've participated in this quiz. This quiz would have been nothing without you all. So a big round of applause for all the participants and the winners, and for Team Udgam. With this, I'd like to pass the mic to the team for any closing remarks.
Yes. Thank you, our quiz masters, for today. And with this, we have come to the end of the quiz. Congratulations to the winners. I would like to thank all the participants for participating with such great zeal and enthusiasm. I would also like to thank our quiz masters for joining us today and putting on an incredible show. Now, we have Aryan Verma, Secretary Acumen Club, and Sai Shreyas Ray, Secretary ESL IIT Guwahati, here with us. Bhaiya, is there anything you would like to add in?
Marian will be joining shortly. He's not there. What I would like to add, Aryan, are you there? I guess Aryan is here. Aryan, you can speak. First of all, I would like to thank Paddy sir and Anirudh sir for hosting this quiz. We were searching for quiz masters. We got the finalists. We actually to host this. So thanks to them. Antah Prerna is something that is very close to me because I've been organizing it since last year. I have seen it go through greater heights. This is only for that zeal of quizzing and entrepreneurship. We are organizing this thanks to them. Now I'd like to pass the mic to Aryan. My thanks also to Acumen, the quizzing club of IIT Guwahati, who have been managing this quiz so well. Aryan is the secretary of the club. Aryan, if you can unmute yourself. His sister. After this session, we have a marketing strategy lecture note by by sponsor Bull. So they will be joining us. Participants can move. Aryan will be giving the closing remarks for this quiz soon.
Yes, we are dropping off. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, can we drop off?
Yeah. Just one piece of information. Tomorrow there is a ceremony for Udgam. So in that ceremony, we'll be announcing winners of various competitions held under Udgam. So we'll also be taking your name. So you're cordially invited for that ceremony. Other than that, certificates and prizes will be contacting you through mail regarding that.
Thanks. It was a nice quiz.
Hi, so we can leave now. Means the quiz is over. So sorry, I was. Hello.
Yes.
So means the quiz is over, right?
Yeah, the quiz is over. Yeah. Mm, Priyanshu.
Yes, Bhaiya. Should I continue?